talk about in this video is, or rather, are the various layers of experience and how to integrate that experience into, or how to draw forth the best elements of the self to govern the self in all of our thoughts, actions, words, and deeds. So first, examining the different layers of the self. So we can recognize that we have a physical self. And the beauty of the physical self is its ability to directly affect on a plane of matter to matter. So we have hands, legs, this physical body that enables us to create in a really tangible, experiential way. Okay, so that's one aspect of the self. Behind that, we have the mind, the operational aspects that really governs what we're doing from moment to moment. That sort of front runner in terms of decision making and our daily operations. It tells us to go left or right or lift this, maneuver that, meet this person, take on this project. So the mind is that next layer of the matrix that is us. Then behind the mind, we have a system which is the emotional system. This system is a little bit more sensitive, a little bit more fluid. And because of its sensitivity, it tends to propel a certain chaos when our emotional body is out of governance and when we have not taken the time to intimately and deeply understand our emotional body. Our emotional body is that chink in the chain that connects us to the last layer of the self, which is that which is eternal, that which is the blueprint, your divine blueprint, which we can call the spirit, the soul, the quantum, intelligent energy, which is behind all of the other layers. So if we go from the soul connects and communicates through the emotional body, and through the emotional body, we are connected into the mind, which is the operating system. And through the mind, we are operating and connected to the physical material world. And that's the way that intelligent energy flows through everything that we are. But we have to remember that there are delays and there are essentially gates at every layer, that until we truly know ourselves, we cannot interconnect all of these operating systems to join as one and operate as one. And this is really the quest that we are on, to integrate the soul with the emotional body, with the mental body, with the physical body, so that we can experience everything running in perfect balance and in synergy to that divine plan, to the needs of all of the different systems. So once we understand this, once we understand the elements of our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual being, then we can work within each to start to identify our unique light, our unique purpose, our unique gifts within not only this lifetime, but throughout all lifetimes and towards a deeper understanding of our eternal nature. So the best way that I've found to work with all of these four bodies all of these 4 principles of self, is to first start with a deep internal quest towards or back towards source or the soul. This means a turning inward, a quest for what we deem as God, divine, source energy. Once we have tapped into that energy and found that silence, that quietness, that beautiful warmth of love, we can move now to the emotional body because we have an anchor. Our spiritual journey or our spiritual quest is really the journey home where we anchor ourselves to now discover the layers of experience. The next quest that we have to go on, once we have anchored ourselves in the knowledge of our eternal nature, our spiritual nature, and our everlasting bond to that which we call God or the divine, then we can move into the emotional body. The emotional body is one of the most difficult elements of the self to calibrate. Emotions are extremely powerful. When you feel intense rage, when you feel intense sadness, when you feel intense longing or intense love or happiness or joy or jealousy, whatever it is, whatever that emotion that bubbles up, I'm sure that you can see and have experienced how just an emotion on its own can completely override the mental and by default the physical aspects of self. So it may take months, years to work with your own emotional body to calibrate and create an equilibrium. Now, how do we create an equilibrium? We start to become the masters of our own emotional world. When we have triggers, traumas, frustrations, irritations that come up, we practice moving backwards into this silence, this calmness, this peace, the tethering, that anchor point to that which is eternal. It is a remembrance that the linear time space that we are currently existing in is temporal and is facilitating an experience. And when we can move back into that intelligent awareness, we can look at each and every emotion, which is truly just energy in motion, that calibrates to our divine soul blueprint, which means it is a manifestation of our own needs and desires that are unique and required for balance of self. We play with each and every one of the emotions in the emotional body on a daily, minute by minute basis. And through the lifetime, through many lifetimes, we learn how to move through the emotional body to the mental body. Now, currently, in the collective consciousness of our world, we reside most of the time in our mental body and our physical body. We have almost skipped over the emotional body and really forgotten the eternal self. And so we have a collective human consciousness that has been overridden by the logical mental body. It's not wrong. It's providing context. It provides learning. There's a lot of things that come out of imbalance, and that's the beauty of non-judgmental perspective. We can understand when we tether to the eternal intelligence that imbalance also creates an environment for context and learning. But as we move back into balance, we understand that the mind needs to be directed by unconditional love and the divine. And through that powerful light love energy, we can propel the immensity and the strength of the emotional body to enact the mind, to activate the mind, to create that logical planning for the out manifestation of what we are going to have the three-dimensional matter-based physical body act out in terms of that material experience. I don't want to make this video too long. Again, I don't want to overwhelm anyone with the lessons. So we're going to start there, and then we will work through each and every body to describe how, or to create a roadmap of how to unravel and learn about each of the 4 pillars of existence here in human form. Okay, have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.